Episode 4 of creating a woodland pond. We've had some rain, but not enough to fill this up, thankfully, because I want to dig it down further. But the ground is very squishy and it sort of builds up on your boots as you walk about in it. It gets quite unpleasant. You're having to scrape mud off your boots all the time. I'm just going to cut it in chunks like I was doing before, 45-degree away from the island here, like that, and then just come along making it, and then the bit that's next to the island going at 45 degrees as well, so I'm not cutting a little slice into the island. And then as I get further away, just straight down like that, one at the back like that, and then lift it out like so. Hello. Pick it up here, lob it here. Just step it down a bit. So this one here is a bit bigger and higher than the surrounding area. And that's because I'm using it as a bit of a marker. I'm thinking, well, I want it about that high, so I'll put a bit that's already that high, and then as I'm shoveling bits I can measure it by this and then make it all the same level, kind of trying to make it the same level as the island. So yeah, so trying making it so that this side here is the same height as this, but the other side, the other bit, that can be a bit higher, that's fine. So we're aiming for about that height. So it doesn't need to go up too much, but over there where I put that block, that needs to rise up a bit, and over there I think mostly, but over here it needs to go up a bit more. The soil here that I put here the other day has been rained on a few times, so it's sort of squished in and set a bit better. It needs to be rained on quite a few times before it sets properly, but when it gets rained on, it goes really, really mushy for the first few times that happens. About here I want to start another layer down, but this bit between the island and here is going to stay here this height, so I want to just have increase the slope going down here, but as I'm going into what will be the deeper bit of the pond, I'm creating a new level we can cut chunks out of. So just go in like that, making a slope going down into the deep bit, and then and just lob it over there and continue along. And then this bit will be shallow, but it will be covered by water most of the time. The water will be about this level. So that's quite like two feet deep, and then it plunges down into the deeper bit just here. Now I'm cutting down into this, where I made the slope here, to make a new level of cliff that I can cut into blocks like here. This one's almost retreated to the edge now, and this will be the next one, making the next level. And this is more broken up, so this can go between the big blocks, and then this I've just left it as a stepping stone here. That'll be useful in the future if I forgot to do maintenance or anything. Also be useful to plant some kind of marginal plant on, and for now it's very handy. And if we go deeper, we'll probably need another stepping stone there, but hopefully we'll reach our goal of 3 feet, and that's 3 feet deep, so we need to go that much deeper from this. what you must remember when you're putting soil somewhere is the deeper you make the soil that you chuck, the more it will sag down when it rains. So all these little air pockets, when it rains heavily, it tends to gloop and it forms like a new layer of soil, and it's a new solid layer of soil. But for now, it's got lots of broken air pockets in it, so really you want to wait till it's been rained on really heavily, at least twice, before you can see what it's going to look like. Like a few heavy showers, you'll think this sag down a bit, but no, you need to wait for the heavy rain, and then it all just sags down, and then you can see, oh, I need to raise that bit up. But where you've made it deeper, it's going to sag more, so you just got to always account for that. So before I put the layer of topsoil on the top here, I want to let all this sag down with the heavy rain. So hopefully soon we'll have some heavy rain, and then I'll be able to see what I need to do here. I'm thinking and looking at this island and thinking about how much soil it's taken to raise up the ground there that much. It might be easier if I just maybe lowered this island a bit. So that's there, this is this height there, so that much off that side. My main concern is that I'll still be able to jump over there. So if that was cut down to there, and I was stood there, I was like stood there, yeah, that would be easy still. And I suppose if it wasn't for any reason I could lower that bit a bit, but yeah, I'm going to do that now. So I'll let's see, that to there, and that makes a little shelf that I can see, but I'll do one on your side as well. So on this side it's a bit deeper, about there. And I cut it all the way along to that level. Ooh. It's it collapsed, I could just grab and lob, and the smaller bits of shovel. That's making a nice level shelf on this side now. Now I can see a level shelf of the height I want the island to be. I can now cut it more comfortably into blocks. Well, it is quite crumbly here. And yeah, that's just falling apart, so I might just shovel that. From here, going downhill, it's still very easy, but what's been concerning me is will I be able to still jump from here to this, which is now higher? And yeah, that's pretty easy still. So that's alright, and it will have possibly a bit of topsoil as well when we're finished. But that's great, and here it's much more this height. Just need to tread this down a bit to disturb it a bit whilst I'm digging. Yeah, that's much better. I'll get back to doing this bit down here. I've cut down this path here to be the same height as the island. And I'm neatly cutting the edges here, again to a 45-degree angle. and then this side will be higher, and there'll be a higher path along here. By lowering the path all along this far side, it makes the valley just that bit deeper and wider. I want this pond to be 3 foot deep in its deepest part, and this is 3 feet waist deep for me, so I've measured that up against the sides. I'd say I've just got another 6 inches to go. That's 15 centimetres. We've had a bit of rain and the pond has half filled up, which is very interesting when this happens because you can then see how accurate you've been with your measurements. It's currently that deep. This footpath that used to come up here has now been blocked by this. As I've lowered this path to be the same height as the island, I've used some of the blocks to put here. So I've cut down so far, and then I've put blocks there, and I've put in some wet slop, and I've made a bit of a 45-degree angle cliff here. And that blocks the path that I was using to get up to there. So now this is going to go, the path that goes up that way is going to branch off from down here somewhere. So what I'm doing here is just taking these chunks off here and making this whole path lower, and I'm doing it in a way so I want it to be sloping up a little bit here to meet with this here, so I'm putting it at a slight angle. And all these chunks, a bit rocky there, all these chunks are not exactly square, so they're perfect for here. They're not entirely straight and square, and they're perfect for here. It's all wet, so just slop it into place there. Bash it with this a bit. Originally this path went that way, but I wanted to come along here and branch off here, so this bit can raise up, because above it is going to be this higher footpath. Now I'm just shoveling up some of this saturated mud from the bottom of the pond here. This side's just extremely wet, the pond hasn't risen to here yet, so I can still get some of this soil. And mush it up a bit, make it nice and wet and squishy. And then I can put it in here like that and just squish it into place, both behind this and in this little bit here, so on the side here, to make it all a nice slope. And more of this mud squished in at the back here so it stabilises it, and just sort of bash it in, make sure it doesn't slip forward or anything. And then got the start of a nice bank there. It'll be interesting to see what it looks like when it comes up to here, but we are forecast for some more rain, so we shall see. But I think that's probably enough for today. So that needs to be connected up with that somehow, and then where you are, there'll be a path going up there and another path going off there. this bank there'll be another steep bank that you can't sort of climb up, and then above it, a little bit back, another higher path. There's one connection down there, and I've got this nice little slope here now. That connects up to here, and then this little path here, one path there, another path there, and this over here, and there. That's great, right? Next time, maybe we could start planting one or two trees. I'm thinking this bit might be possible to plant a few trees, and some of the trees can go on some of the bits that are almost finished. But that's enough for today, so I hope you liked today's episode, and please like and subscribe. If you press the little me, you can see my other videos, and I shall see you next time.